This is your old boy Ivan from ux3.com, and I will reveal to you some of the most powerful business tools that you can ever possess, and that is called reflection. Now, I don't know how long this video it would be, probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but it's a very let's say fairly complicated concept, so I'm going to try to simplify it in a few steps. Now, let's first clarify why people are not so successful in business. Well, it is because they are looking the world through their eyes only, and they assume, the major assumption that they do, the people in business, is that everyone else would see the world as they see it. Now, I can throw a couple of examples. Let's say you have an idea for an app. Like, this is like very modern now, we are in 2023. Everyone comes with some kind of an app, and in that case the app creation comes usually through solving a problem. Now, there are all kinds of problems in the world, and you may become instant millionaire if you create an app that solves enough large of a problem or a small problem, but applied to multiple or multitude of people. Example, let's say you have an idea to solve one little problem, but 20 million people have the same problem. I'll give you an example out of my life. Now, I'm going around the stores and I am shopping for some stuff. So what I have noticed is the pricing, especially and particularly in the food stores. Have you noticed how confusing the prices in the food stores are? And there is a reason for that. First of all, every store for food, or any kind of store in North America, I believe, in United States of America, Canada, and everywhere, I guess in any civilized country, it's required by the law to have clear pricing labels, you know. I believe, I'm not quite sure, but I believe that each item also should have a stamp with a barcode and should have a label with the price. But now, when you go to the grocery store next time, or to a deli, or to a supermarket, just notice how confusing is that. Today, for example, I went to a big store, a chain, and then I was about to buy a can opener, like one of those things that open the cans. And surprise, surprise, there was all kinds of items there. Spoons, knives, all kinds of gadgets to do certain things in the kitchen. But particularly, there was 3 type of can openers. Surprise, surprise, the price wasn't there in all of 3 of them. All 3 items did not have price. And next to it, next to this little gadget that should be costing like $3, $5, maximum to $10, there was some label, and that label was saying item price $184, and it was saying something like $8 or $7 per pound, and there was no item there. So it's very confusing. So this is not the first time I'm facing this problem. This is a huge problem for millions of people. Now, I will tell you what the problem is. People go in these supermarkets, and I believe the owners of the supermarkets are so negligent So they would be thinking something like this: well, what the hell, these people are already in the store, they're gonna spend the money anyway, so therefore we should not put too much effort to specifically tag each item with the label and stuff. So now, as a consumer, you go there and you usually go to buy one thing and you end up with bag full of things, and the price tag is $150, $300, $500. This happened to you. So I immediately came up with a cool idea. So I will tell you what the idea is. Now, there are multiple chains of stores, and what I have noticed today in certain areas of Manhattan and in certain stores, the prices of the same particular items are at least 30 to 40% cheaper than Walmart stores in New Jersey. Now, that surprised me, because we in America, we live under the impression that Walmart is beating all the prices, is the cheapest, it's good quality and all this stuff, but that's very further from the truth. So I immediately came up with an idea. So it's the idea for an app. Now, if you are a programmer, a web developer, anybody that does software engineering, you can take this idea. I give it to you, it's free. If you are watching this video, take this idea, use it, make it work, and sell it, and you can become millionaire almost overnight. Here is the idea. Imagine you go to a store, there is a good big food chain called Acme. It's located in New Jersey, but Acme is also competing with CVS Pharmacy, with Walmart, with Green Mart, with this Mart, with that Mart, with Bazaar. There are many big chains with multiple locations, hundreds of, if not thousands of locations scattered across the United States of America. And these are big chains. They have millions of dollars per day revenue, not turnover, revenue. They work with a lot of money. They have huge inventory. Some of these chains have $1 billion in inventory. So now here is the idea. Let's say you own one of these super chains, let's call it like super big chains, and you have noticed that the customers, instead of coming to your store, they randomly can go to the competitor. And now, let's say you have relatively good prices or better prices than your competitors. But is this very clear to the consumers? How the consumer make decisions if he is price-oriented consumer? And let's be fair, everybody is price-oriented consumer because, as I mentioned before, you go in a big food store to buy a few bananas and you end up with a bag full of items for $150 minimum, and there's nothing, almost nothing in the bag, right? But you end up with $130. So here is the idea. Now, when the customers or the clients go out of the door of these big stores, let's say, a girl meets them and asks them a simple question. Hey, thank you for shopping with us. I want to just ask you this simple question. What made you come to our store? Now, the client who was just going through the register and spent like $200, $500, $1,000, he will come up with some answer. I come here because it's convenient, because it's across the street, because the location, because the vibe, because the cleanliness, all these other stuff, including the prices. But now here is what the girl does. She has a tablet, on which tablet lives the app that you that you as a developer, a business owner of that app, you can develop and sell to these people. And I will even tell you at least 2-3 business models that you can sell to these stores. So here is the app. The girl said, well, congratulations, do you know that coming to our store you save 23%? And the people will say, what do you mean? How come? And she say, well, if you let me take a picture of your receipt, I will prove it to you. Most of the people will say, okay, prove it to me. So now the girl opens the tablet, take a picture of the receipt. This receipt is, let's say, 20 items, each one $5, $10, whatever is the receipt. It has a total of, let's say, $185, 10% tax, $18 in taxes, and blah, blah, blah. So now, what the application in the tablet does, it takes that image, sort out all the data, all the items, read their names, totaling everything, and then the app goes online and finds out all the competitors and in their online stores, because everybody has an online store now and plus delivery. So now the application goes to this and take out each item price. Let's say you bought 2 cans of fish, which is that fish. Of course, it's identical in the other store, but the other store happened to sell it instead of from $3.50 to $4.50. That's about 30% more. So, you get the idea? The applications go through all these items, find similar and the same actual items, and create a duplicate of receipt, but from your competitor, if you're the owner of the chain. And the girl shows to the customers and say, hey, congratulations, you see, your total here is $185 plus taxes and all this stuff, $200 or whatever. And now, thank you for coming to us, because if you made the mistake to go to shop to our competitor, let's say XYZ grocery, you would have spent 33% or whatever the percentage is, more money. Now, what this does, it creates so-called phenomenon in business. It's called customer retention. Customer retention means that once you have one client, he will keep coming to your store. Now that might sound not too much in the surface, but if you are in business, you know this is one of the most important things, customer retention. Why is that? Because there's another thing called customer acquisition, and sometimes customer acquisition, it's very, very expensive. You have to acquire customers through network marketing, advertisement, Google ads, Facebook ads, constant promotions, running discounts in all kinds of platforms, social media, newspapers, and that cost could be tremendous. And you, as an owner of a store, if you are an owner of a store, you will have not very clear picture. If you spend $100,000 in customer acquisition, you will not be actually very clear how much is that money bringing you number of customers. Let's say you spend $100,000. If it brings you 100 customer only, that means customer acquisition cost you $1,000 per customer. Now, if you have a store with low margin, like a grocery store, of course, that doesn't even make sense. You spend $1,000 per customer, and only the customer only spent $200 in your store today. They came, they look around, they purchase some items, they spend $200. Out of this $200, let's say your margin is only 10%, you only make $20. So you spend $1,000 to acquire one single customer, but you only made $20 profit. You just lost $980 through the process of acquiring that customer. Now, of course, the numbers, I'm just giving you a little bit exaggeration of this just to make sense. I'm hyperbolizing a little bit the numbers, but you get the picture. Let's say each customer costs you $5 to acquire, only $5, which is nothing. If the customer comes and you made $20 profit of him visiting the store after all the cost, taxes, employee, inventory, maintenance, like all kinds of expenses a business owner have. And if you make clear profit after all per customer, well, that's good. If you made $15 out of the $5, you practically triple your money of the process of customer acquisition. Wait a minute. Now, what happened with that customer? Does the customer come one time, shop around and go home, and then he goes to the competitor because he had any idea that your prices was slightly cheaper or a lot cheaper or sometimes half the price? I already gave you an example. We live in the matrix. We all believe that Walmart prices are good. That's further from the truth. I have experienced this today, and I've experienced this multiple times, but people still believe that Amazon is the only choice to buy items and Walmart is the best on prices. Why? Because Walmart, the main angle of the Walmart, it is what the owner of the Walmart nearly 50 or 60 or 70 years ago made everybody believe that they're the cheapest, they're the biggest, and blah blah blah. But with the time they changed the prices, and most of the people live under the wrong ideas. Walmart is cheap, it's good, it's reliable, items are relatively good, and yes, that's a big truth. Some items, but some other items, no. So now, let's talk about the up again. Now, when the customers go out of the store, he goes through this process of so-called customer retention through experience. There's a nice girl, well-dressed, with a big smile, and notify the customer that they saved a lot of money by proving what are the same prices of their competition. And now the application, of course, will generate 3 receipts, which is the first one on the screen of the tablet. It will be the first receipt that it simply say, hey, in store A, which is our store, you spent $200, $185 plus taxes, $200. In store B, the same items, here is the list. You can now go, with your car, if you are not lazy, go and check. But we do that for you through our application. And now in the store B, the prices are $245, and the store C, it is close to $300. That's how big differences can go. Now, I hope you understand what this app does. It's not just comparing the prices. It's not like a website, like a ticket airline pricing. No. The customer meets a live person outside that does so-called survey to show the customers that they made the right choice coming to store A instead of going to the competitor B, C, X, Y, Z. So now the customer see clearly with his own eyes, and even if he has doubt, he can go actually and spend time, energy, and money to do the same in the store B, C, and D, X, Y, Z, and to understand if this is true. Now, this app is just an idea. If you can manage to develop this app, I do have some technical skills. I can even assist. I have a bunch of developers, and maybe I can develop this kind of app. Now, who are you gonna market the app to? Of course, to big chains. And you can just go and tell the owners of these big chains to explain them the benefits and the value of this app. The value of the app is customer retention, and here is the kicker: through experience, with live interaction with a representative of your store. Do you understand how powerful is that? Now, once this happens, the customer will be so thrilled because This thing does not even exist. I just came up with this idea through this observation of the pricing problem in big supermarkets. So now imagine you go to Walmart, create this app and say at the door, at the exit of Walmart, all the customers will go through survey. And me, as the owner of the app, I will charge Walmart only 25 cents or 30 cents or 50 cents to render this service. And you will explain the owners of the Walmart or the big chain stores, you will explain them the benefit. First benefit, through experience, every customer that comes on the door, it's reassured that this is the best price, right? Because let's be fair, all the supermarkets are actually in the commodity kind of market. They are nothing special. One store has a better lighting, another store has a little bit better arrangement, another chain has better parking or better location, but when it comes to shopping to large quantities of items under one shopping bag, let's say a family goes to a supermarket and spend $300 to $500 per week just for food, now that makes perfect sense. Every owner of that chain would be happy to pay you that kind of service that will provide that kind of value, big value in the eyes of the owner of that chain. This is how the guy will think. He will be thinking, wow, how I didn't come up with this idea, why I didn't have this idea myself to make this survey and to make sure. And these are especially big chain that believe that they can beat the competition in price, because they know very well that they are literally in the commodity. It's all per pound, it's all per item, the best price, the lowest price, save more, and all this kind of stuff. But none of them came up with this idea. Now, here I give you the idea just for example, to tell you the bottom of this video. You know, the bottom of this video is you. If you're a business owner, you should be thinking all day long this kind of stuff. And I do have, actually, in my mentees group, I have these kids, and these kids are nowadays, they are really smart. They always, every day, they come up to me with new ideas. Hey, I want to make this up. Hey, I want to solve this problem. Hey, I want to do this. Wow, that's a great idea. That is called creativity in business. Now, a few years ago, I came up with this bottom line for the purpose of a business, and let me throw it at you. Now, the purpose of every business only serves maybe 2, maximum 3 purposes. First and most importantly, the business serves this purpose: to exercise the creativity of the business owner. Many people are there in the business for the money, but they don't understand that money and creativity are so close related that works just like this. The more creative you are in business, the more money comes to you automatically. I don't know if I can put it any better. The second purpose of a business is to capitalize and to turn the cash flow into assets, other sorts of assets. One of the assets is land. The most solid is land. The second one is real estate. The third one could be any modern new business, cryptocurrency, any type of investment. That's the only purpose of the business, to create enough cash flow which you can take substantial amount of the cash flow, you can throw it into another business or into real estate or into land or into some kind of investment, so you don't pay taxes. We know from the tax law in the United States of America, and not only in the United States of America, now it's going to become a global taxation state, that the more money you make, the more money you're gonna pay in taxes. But the wealthy people don't pay taxes. Why is that? For only one reason. They always are out of money. Even if they make $1 billion per day, they just do opportunity creation. They keep creating new opportunities for the society and for the people, creating more workers, creating more businesses, creating more territory. Good example, Elon Musk is now going to Mars. That would be the most single investment, the biggest single investment in the entire human history. Now Elon Musk or his corporation, or we don't know who, they're gonna have a part of another planet. Can you imagine that? All the resources of that planet, and the resources that will be found on this planet, they are, we don't know how much it will be, those resources. Probably water under the surface, probably aliens, probably, who knows. We may find the promised land. Maybe Mars is the promised land that we've been searching for forever, right? So the biggest purpose for a business owner is to exercise his creativity through his business activity. Second is to convert the cash flow into other type of assets to avoid taxation. And the third one is to have fun during that process, not to be a slave of the business. And there are so many ways to have fun through your business, right? Even if you are a supermarket owner, you can still have a lot of fun through your business. If you start being creative, if you come up with this kind of solutions, you know, very minor adjustments, and in the big chains, there are multitude of people that are thinking this kind of little solutions. Now, good example, good case studies, Amazon, brand new chain of stores that are without employees. That is something, right? No transaction, no credit cards. You just go pick up the item, you go through the door, your credit card or whatever credit type of, you know, signature is charged, and you don't talk to nobody. That is a big thing. Now, how to make this thing? It's a lot of innovation, a lot of scanners, a lot of facial recognition. It's like from the Matrix, you know, and you cannot debate. You may steal something in the Amazon store, but hey, it will catch you and it will bite you in the back. Maybe a year from now, from the moment you stole the item, it will catch you in the back. Somehow Amazon will get you, all right? Or the Matrix will get you. Because nowadays there's so much technology that almost everything is possible. If you are a creative person, you can come up with a business tomorrow, and in a few days, if you only have experience how to make idea into a working prototype, proof of concept, get investors, put a lot of money, and go big. Now that would take some kind of business experience, some little failures here and there, some successes, and voila, your way or your path to financial independence, what they call the gurus in the internet, it's set. You don't have to work a day in your life anymore if you as a business owner come up with the idea. But now let's get back to the why I'm doing this video. Now, as I said in the very beginning of this video, the owners of the business believe, every owner of the business believes that the world, the humanity in whole, and everybody thinks the same way they think. And that is the furthest from the truth. That is not like this. Now, how do I know? How do I know how I have the guts and the boldness and the arrogance even to make the statement? Yeah, only through experience. Because for the last couple of years, I came up with at least 20 different businesses. I've tested them, and what I found is some of them are not fit. Some of them are not ready for the market. Some of them are too advanced for the popular, for the masses to even to accept this concept. Now, in the business literature, they say if your idea is 10%, more than 10% newer than what the market allows, it's not going to work. Even if it's a brilliant idea. And I have this, I want to give an example here. There was a very young gentleman, 19 years old. He came up with the idea to source asteroids coming to the Earth. And his business model was to sell the rights for mining through logistics. He was providing logistical services through network of satellites and scientific data, and he was selling so-called rights to companies, and he got a lot of millions of dollars. A lot of big companies invested in this young kid because he came up with this brilliant idea. Now, this idea, it's so good, but it's so far in the future, let's say in 20 or 30 years in the future, conservatively. When we actually build the rockets, when Elon Musk built all these rockets, and the rockets become ubiquitous, and we go to Mars left and right, and now all of a sudden we're going to be looking for asteroids to take the resources, metals, gold, diamonds, silica, silicon, whatever elements coming from the stars through these asteroids. We can actually put asteroids apart, break them to pieces, and bring them to Earth or to Mars or to other planets that we eventually will go there. That idea is very brilliant idea, but it's so far in the future that, you know, if you present it to a venture capitalist, he will say, well, how am I going to make my money the next 5 years or the next 2 years? And that idea is not feasible because it's too far in the future, or too far away from even from the way of thinking of the regular people. Let alone you present this idea to a guy on the street, he will be like, are you crazy? You know? So, a major problem here is that a business owner always thinks that the rest of the world will get his idea, will understand his idea, will understand his concept or brilliant thought, or, you know, and that is not true, unfortunately. I talked to a lot of business owners, and they're all rushing to me because I'm consulting some of them, and they're like, hey, how about this idea? Hey, how about that idea? I say, well, good, brilliant idea, good idea. Now tell me how you're gonna make it work. That's what I'm interested. Do you have a plan? A, B, C, D. 1 year plan, 2 years plan, 15 years plan, 3 days plan. What are you gonna do tomorrow? What's the first thing we have to do tomorrow for this brilliant idea, supposedly, to start working and getting benefits? What kind of steps we're gonna take? Most of the people don't even have the slightest clue how to turn idea into a profitable business. I've read a book